are you doing with the Mercedes people?
Oh, we just wanted to make a statement and say that, yes, the corporate world can definitely patch up with us.
Yeah.
It's always been there.
Yeah.
We just wanted to highlight it, Charlie. Say, a brand like Mercedes can definitely work with a brand like myself.
True.
And boundaries don't matter, or
True.
territories
True.
don't matter,
True.
so far as we're able to pull the same numbers. So we sent a proposal to them. We spoke to them, and the funny thing is, in the proposal, one thing I said was that we sit in the car every day and we listen to music, and we drive around and play our favorite music and everything. We haven't thought that the marriage between music or the vibe when
Yeah.
you have when you're in a car and your radio is not working,
Yeah.
or your sound system is not working,
Yeah.
you feel like you're not even there. Some people don't even want to drive their cars when the sound is not working.
True. True.
And so that worked for them, and they thought that, okay, let's try it. So we had 35 of the people who matter, and when I say no disrespect to anyone, but business leaders, in Johannesburg, label heads to media heads to just businessmen and all of that. We had the likes of the CEO of Dejam Africa,
Oh, cool.
the CEO of Universal Africa. We had the CEO of Bayeni Holdings. We had some businessmen. We had friends from the UAE. We had a few other business owners, African business owners, just 35, to do an exclusive listening of an upcoming project that I'm working on. And the idea was not to just come, be in the lobby and listen to the music, but be in your favorite Mercedes car. So
and
we
hear
have
the
the
song.
S classes, we have the C classes, the E classes. You sit in, you close the doors, the AC is on. Feel free to step on the pedal if you want, but it's not gonna move.
Yeah, definitely.
And then enjoy, the sound, the music in there. And then after, we ask them questions. What did you think about the song and stuff like that? And we're hoping to do the same here.
Brilliant idea.
And then we move to releasing the project finally.
Brilliant idea. So when are we looking at releasing the project?
Well, we're saying late March. But I'm still fighting with the team. That there are a few more songs to put on there, and they're like, but there's a lot already, that we. And funny enough, I just met Guilty Beats, so I'm hoping that him and I will be able to work on one more song, maybe just one more song to add up to it. I feel we need one more song on it.
How many songs do you have now?
Well, I have a lot, but we've selected
You
so
selected,
far.
okay.
We've selected 12.
Okay.
But
solid.
out of the 12, we're going to take out 2 and then replace them with two
more.
other fresh songs.
Can you confidently tell me that this album coming up all the songs on there are going to be better than my favorite Trigmatic song? I don't even think you know my favorite Trigmatic
Yes, I
song.
don't know. I was about to say, I wish I knew your favorite Trigmatic song.
You are about to know. Here it goes.
But I'll say some people they shy, where did they come from? So yonky. I tried it. Yeah. Show up. London. I tried it. Okay, turn on the light. Drinks in the house, we go party all night. Pour me a liquor, let me blare up the site. Y'all body tight, bang it all night. No bloody fight. I'm sugar dripping, do you wanna take a bite? 2 shots of gin, I'm boxing with Sprite. Working with the greens like I'm living on a diet. Get off the track like a back train. Can't look back like I have a back pain. Can't go up like a permanent stain. Let a bitch say damn. Hussein, who goes first? Please stand up. Which goes first? Please own up. Who won't flex? You didn't make I throw up. No be vomit. I'm talking about how I show up. GH #1 rapper. High life hip hop rapper. Send me you a slot, you will qua. Let the haters talk on bois. I'm going all in. I'm sure gonna win. Lame ass rappers in the trash bin. The music vein under my skin makes me kid. And rap is the 10.
I love this.
This problem got no answer. This rapper far from Banza. Who heard just me, I'm Ponsa. Yeah, nah, no so jensa. This food is served from GH. And Trick just opened a new page. With an old and a bit of that new age. He did come, make it clear stage. See them. Haters, go bars, jailers. We done run this street, skaters. And the street and the hard work made us.
This one, no time to waste. This one, there, shake your waist. This one, no time to waste. This one, there, shake your waist.
Drake, how does it feel listening to this one again?
Bro. You took me back.
I
And
got you, eh?
like I'm thinking, and thanks for this.
Yeah.
It's like a good treat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, man.
And I've taken
yeah,
the
man.
advice. You say I should put it on.
Please put it on.
Or
Put it
do
on.
a
You need
remix
to rework
even.
the song.
Yeah.
Rework the song.
Otin, please, let's
Because,
do this
you see,
one.
I keep telling people that this song is one of the best definitions of hip life.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
Authentic Ghanaian high life rhythm with the rap. And the rap is not just some, like you said in the right song, it's not some lame rap. This is proper, solid,
you.
sweet, solid rap.
Thank
you know,
you,
so I
thank
mean,
you.
it's just perfect.
Oh,
it's
thank
just
you,
perfect.
Thank you.
Yes, it's just perfect. But there's a bit of bad news. There's an accident at Achimota New Overhead, causing huge traffic. We're asking the police to please get to the accident spot and kindly assist with the situation. There's been an accident on the Achimota New Overhead. If the police could please get there ASAP so that we can help save the situation. Yes. We don't like news like that, and we pray the police can get there very, very, very quickly. So Drake, for me, that is my favorite Trigmatic song. Yes. Now you know. That is my favorite Trigmatic song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, people like you guys have left some songs behind that I do not understand.
You always
This
say that.
is yes. Look, EL also has a song that he calls Why.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he hasn't even reworked a song like Why, because Why is a good song.
Yeah.
You know, just like this one.
Thank you.
Solid classic for me.
Thank
And
you.
this is my all-time best Trigmatic song of all time.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
Thank
but
you.
it's just classic.
Thank you.
I like the thing you've been doing with Mercedes. And, you know, a lot of us in this industry have been wondering, thinking about how we can bridge this gap between the corporate world and the creatives. I mean, if you were to advise your fellow artists, what would you say? How can we bridge this gap? Because, look, a lot of them, we approach them, they think we're jokes. They don't even want to look at you, you know, more concert. I don't know. What do we have to do? Where do we start?
Well, I think that it's important that as a brand, you know, whether you're an actor or a musician, you have to understand that you're working in an environment, you know, and there are movers and shakers of that particular environment. You have to respect the role that these other players do, because there's a long value chain.
Yeah.
And people have their roles that they're playing.
Yeah.
Because if you want to think that everything must happen within your industry alone, you miss the mark. So I think it's about thinking wide. I think it's about expanding the way we see things. It's not just from the studio to the stage to perform, but it goes beyond that. I think it's about having the right team
Yeah.
to who has a vision,
Yeah.
in line with your vision, and then believing in corporate Ghana, because as it stands, we must work hand in hand. And then the reverse is also corporate Ghana understanding that there's a need, to work with us,
to connect with the creatives
as well.
Yeah.
I think creatives creatives must understand that they have to create value for whatever thing they're creating, and so that a businessman is not really concerned about your talent. They look at numbers. They're always thinking about numbers, because that's what keeps the business running and coming. You might find a few who love you and say, oh, I like your music, so I'll give you a slot here and there. But what if you don't know the person? Like, what if I went into a new jurisdiction like SA to do this Mercedes thing, and they didn't know me? It was really about numbers. They check your social media, they check your market reach, and even the age, things like age. So the demographic is very important for you to understand that, okay, I am artist A, my song appealed to this market. Now this market, if they are maybe between the ages of 2 and 10, they also love candies.
Yeah.
They also love juice.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't hurt to approach a juice company to say, let's do this together. Let's do a party for kids, or let's do a kiddie fest every year. And then I become the face of it. And even beyond being the face of it, I mean, it doesn't also hurt to try and diversify.
Exactly.
And you yourself having a brand that also
Exactly.
appeals to them besides your brand. So I think that, yeah.
True. All right. Not a bad idea. We've also been joined in the studios by my brothers, the tall man, Obi Nate. Yes, from the Table of Men. We're still looking for that table. And of course, the big brother who does all screen supplies in Ghana, Mr. Kujupuku. Yes, of big ideas.
The table was at your daddy's funeral.
Oh, yes. The table was well represented.
So you saw the table?
The table was well
So you
represented.
saw the table?
Yes. And the table did a very generous donation too. God bless you, the table. God bless the table. We saw the table. The table was well represented. Yes. Well done. Well done. We're grateful. But Table of Men, what is your problem with Quaye performing at Celestial Praise?
But it's crazy an artist.
But Quaye is an artist. Do you
He
know
was
that?
an artist in the days of Mark Abraham.
What are you talking about?
The days of Wulome. He was playing with Wulome.
Trey, do musicians ever retire?
Nah.
So
they
what?
don't.
What is the Table of Men
Some
saying?
we have to retire them because they don't have the capacity to do well. If you don't retire, we'll retire you. And we have retired him.
No.
He can't be there.
We don't agree. He has
He
to be
can
there.
come, he can participate, but
No.
he will not be on stage.
He has to be there. Look,
he won't.
because of Table of Men, I am flying back from Kumasi to produce the event.
Well, it's at your own cost.
Kojo, how are you doing, sir?
I should be asking you, how are you doing?
Since you abandoned me at the funeral, okay, you gave us sanitation chamber. God bless you. But you still abandoned us.
How have you been doing after all that, grueling, time of mourning your father and
Charlie.
all that, I know what it is and how it feels like to be, at that war.
It's not been easy, but God has been good. God won't bring you to it without giving you the arsenals to go through it. And look, this from December 31st till now, the kind of love God has shown me through people like yourselves, I've been overwhelmed. I mean, I look at everything from even the time that he was in hospital, all through December. He has he actually went into hospital on 13th December.
Oh.
Yes, and he died 31st December.
So all the time that we were talking and all that.
All the time that we were working, going up and down and everything.
You were having your
So
own.
almost every evening, conference center in Ridge, not far.
Yeah.
So almost every
Wow.
time you have to pass through there, you do that, you pass through here. But in all things, we give thanks.
As well,
It is.
Yeah, I
doesn't
should have
kill
my
can only make you
condolences.
stronger.
I didn't know.
It's all right. You can still do the
I will.
donation. Yes,
Yeah, it's proper to do that. It's proper
far
to do that.
Now Trig is a big man.
Yeah,
he's on a board. He's a big man. He's a big man.
Even if he wants to make it, even if you can even make it one Mercedes. I don't. I can get some small C class.
When I hear Mercedes, then I feel something in my system.
Why?
That's the only car.
The rest are jokes.
If you are from Kumasi, there's something that we say.
You
see, Benz one car, utumo ebonidin. Utu do want to Benz. And then there's another one. You can say Oda Benzim. You can say
Oti Benzim.
Yeah.
Oda Benzim. You can say Oti Range Rover. Unti say Kumasi ni bi ka say Oda Range Rover. Oda Benzim.
Gentlemen.
Enough for you to
Gentlemen, what you are doing is not fair. Philip drives Kia.
Oh, Kia dear. Obijaye. Oh
no!
Shots fired.
By this time.
But on a more serious note, could you let me bring the same question I asked Trace? This bridging the gap between the corporate world and the creatives. Yeah, because it looks like still we're struggling. Look, we're going to have a conversation on the Super Bowl, the halftime, show. And the brands, now they have actually branded it Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show. Pepsi actually kind of owns that, and I can imagine how much they spend on it, though the artists also invest a lot more into it, because it's not like you're going to be paid for anything extra. They would have their budget for it. But if you want to take it to the next level, you invest into it. And over the years, artists have been pumping tons of cash into it. The brands look good, the artists look good, everybody is happy. How come here we still struggle for simple sponsorship?
It's a very very tough thing that we go through, as event managers and as promoters all the time. I think it boils down to our understanding of what entertainment can do. Most marketing executives and most people in marketing positions in this country just overlook entertainment as a real driver of sales, of inclusiveness, of marketing. They don't really believe that by me collaborating or leveraging on an artist show or a concert, I'll be able to drive home sales, which is the bottom line for every company.
Yeah.
Because for every company, they want to know how much I'll be able to make by putting in a CD into this event. They sit there and are not able to create the synergy. Because if I am a content producer, I'm doing my show. My concentration is making sure the show looks good. If I approach you as a brand, I expect you to sit back and say, okay, this event is targeting students or people in this age bracket, these demographics. If my brand speaks to the people who are attending this event, how are we able to connect on a different level? There's no way that a TV brand in America will not capitalize on Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Every brand that sells any home entertainment in America capitalizes on Super Bowl. But the people who are able to make a lot more are those who are able to step forward and say, okay, we want to be known that we were part of this. And by just knowing that they were part of it, they are now able to let their brand be seen, that okay, they were sponsors, they were partners, they were the ones that sponsored showing somewhere here, there. But if you look at the past a holiday that passed, it wasn't a holiday so to speak, but a calendar date that was so prominent, Val's Day. Ask yourself, where were the brands in Ghana? Where were the brands? Which brands felt that they needed to connect with all the events that happened? Which brand thought that, a concert that we put together, Aquabo's concert, arguably, if you want to talk about people who sing about love songs, whose songs are trending right now, Aquabwa has a song that is trending. Which brands felt that, okay, they could connect with the people who love this song, who will come and watch this gentleman perform, and so will now sit back and even call to say, okay, I've heard that this concert going on. I have this brand. I want to see how the two brands can converge at a point for me to be able to direct to sales. We don't have a lot of people like that in decision making, these days in the country.
And I kind of agree. Because there's, 2 years ago, Image Brew, we did our first show, which was the Valentine Love and Laughter show. Mm-hmm. We claim we are a chocolate country. Mm-hmm. There are companies in this country known for chocolate.
Yes.
I don't want to mention them.
So many of them.
It's Valentine's Day. I mean, which other day are you going to sell chocolate? No. Yet people bring sponsorship proposals to you and you throw them away.
Yeah. Because for them, unless you as the event manager now cooks up a way to connect the two, you will, apart from you doing the production for the event and going for all that you are putting together, you now have to sit back and now be able to say, okay, for everybody who comes in, I will tie in one bar of chocolate to the ticket. And unless you are able to do that for them, they don't even see the way that they are able to connect.
Let me bring Obi into the convo. Yeah. Obi, I don't know if you're also suffering the same.
I'm trying to understand, but I think for me it's a two-way thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've always said as a brand, if let's say Trig needs to position himself in a certain way. If you know you were in love singing like a Kwabwa over the years,
Kwabna.
Over the years, what have you done to position yourself that if a chocolate company can say, okay, I see you do a lot of things in this light, so associating with you will be very easy. But it's as if we wait till we have an event and then we want to position ourselves in that light. It becomes difficult for the company to associate.
But no, I like the examples you yourself gave.
Yes.
The names you mentioned, Akwabwa, Kwabna, Kojoinchi. What? Who needs to define them again for you?
Yeah. You see,
they're already defined.
By their songs.
See,
we know who they are.
George. So like I'm saying, sometimes you even, I was coming to the point, you the artist and the team, you need to even take some steps. You understand me? Take a step, probably do it on your own. Try and purchase the same product and then do it for yourself. So the next time you go to them, you see, you didn't even help me, but I was able to buy your product to do what A, B, C, and D. Then it gives them a certain room to have a conversation with you. So
if I'm getting you right, you're telling me that I'm doing a Valentine's Day show. Kojo produced for Akwabwa on 13th February. You're saying that so they should now go and buy niche chocolate and share for the
Kojo
audience.
did not get sponsorship from the chocolate company.
Hold on, I'm using niche as an example, or cocoa processing, or anybody Golden Tree, any of them, So he should now take his money, buy Golden Tree, share it for the people in the auditorium, take a picture, and then he goes to show it to Golden Tree people that you didn't sponsor me, but I did this for you anyway. What sort of marketing is that?
Do you need them?
You see, that is the question I'm asking is, at which point do they also need you?
You see, the thing is that we like Benz. You need Benz.
Does he?
If Benz doesn't come to you, do they lose something? This is the mindset of many of these companies we have. They see themselves up there that we have to come to them and then beg them for the sponsorship.
But is that right? Is that what it should be?
So then again, so we have to now develop a way of bridging the gap. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I was saying, that it wasn't like that when we're growing up. It's like right now, I see like we don't have big brands who want to bamba, for want of a better expression, who want to play the big boys games. Back in the days, I mean, I remember when Joy FM, DJ Black and things, when there was a Joy Hit Squad, when we used to do the Joy FM, Ago, Guinness, MTN pool party.
Those parties. Yeah.
To get a ticket to go for the event was like trying to go to America. It was so hot that brands could come up together and put their energies together and create what was like big event. If you look at the landscape of Ghana right now, what will you call a big national event that unites Ghana? Mention one event that you can sit back and say, okay, if I'm a brand, I want to associate with this brand, with this event, and I'll be able to get national coverage right now in Ghana.
Sit much.
Six match will come and go.
No brand
you can sell
will
own six match.
You know the match.
No brand will own. No brand in Ghana owns six match.
No brand is in Ghana.
Is going to say.
We're going to go there.
Made a very big point about the marketing executive.
Hold on. But you see, Kojo said something a minute ago, and I remember when we were doing Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Look, there was no day that anybody had to get up to go chase. It got to a point. Naturally, it got to a point. Yeah, that was when the paradigm started shifting, things started changing, to we now needing them. Taxi Driver was supposed to be 30 minutes on TV. It got to a point you would only watch 12 minutes. The rest was all adverts because it had too many sponsors on the show. And almost every week somebody was knocking on our doors. I want to be on the show. I want to be on the show. Look, if you're experience same, tons of sponsors. You understand? So at which point did the paradigm shift? What went wrong? Or is it the growth of new media that killed it? Because at that point, I remember in the days of Taxi Driver, everybody was watching GTV. There was nothing else to watch.
Could be.
Is it the growth of other media houses and all those things?
For academic purposes, one of the things we have studied is that the new media has changed everything, and it has affected everybody. So, like I'm saying, now we the brands have to develop.
But is it in this country or new media is also prominent everywhere else in the world? The synergy is there. The old media, the traditional media and the new media are always work together. Every TV station right now has an online presence.
Yeah,
they are streaming live and they are still showing an extension of their brands on social media. Every media house in Ghana or in the rest of the world
has an extension
on social media.
But Trick, so in your case, for instance, you went to Mercedes.
Yeah.
You curated the idea, everything, and went to them.
Yeah.
Did they give you any money?
Well, I can't say that on radio, but I would say, so, I mean, it's a bit of everything, you know, like what he said and what he said.
Yeah.
Because, you know, well, using the Mercedes as an example, one of the things I sold to them was numbers.
Okay.
You know, and so data collection is key.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's something that we've downplayed.
Yeah.
For instance, it's the reason why we've entered this new media space. Whether we like it or not, is here to stay. And so maybe it's about time for events that we used to do, or maybe we're known for already doing, to collect data. You know, and so now maybe ticketing, some of it we must find a way to digitize our numbers where we know for sure that we have 1,500 people coming. And then the other problem has been what the executive, the marketing executive is looking for.
Yeah.
And so if they want numbers, then you can sell numbers to them. Now with the Benz example, they wanted to, I had read about them having Bearmeister as their speakers and having this 3G sound and blah blah blah. I read about it, and so that's what I sold. That, I mean, not everybody would have the chance to experience, you know, the feel of the inside of the new S class, but they might be in a position to afford it, you know. And then I took my numbers. Okay, so this is the people I appeal to, and the age bracket, and then things like sticking to your word and making sure that it's going to happen. They actually even demanded a list of the invitees, you know, to do due diligence on them,
exactly,
to make sure that these 35 people that I'm saying
was it this market or in another
no in another market.
In another market.
In other markets when
when
marketing executives are not lazy. I mean,
and so that's why I was coming to, you know, the examples that you gave, that I feel that the problem is being slacky with trying to depend on things like information, data, and stuff like that. You know, you meet the marketing executive. Like currently, I'm working on something that I want to do in March, and it's really about if he knows you or not. If the sound, okay, do you what's your new song again?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and then it comes to retiring musicians.
Yeah.
You know, where, for instance, I mean, can we say, and okay, I won't mention a name before it lands me another problem. But can we say, if an old, I hate to use the word old, but if a producer from back then, with hits, I mean, we can look at countless of them, you know, did a halftime show. Let's say we're bringing that concept here. Can he sell? Would the eyeballs still be the same?
Like,
would the numbers?
Let me help you. Like if you picked the likes of Oforiampo and Sadada KD,
Yes.
You
You see, and the funny
to come and do Ekotoko and Has, playing, and then you select them. People will sit back and say, but they are younger people who are, hit makers right now.
Because
Are you talking about Ofori before being a prophet or after being a prophet?
Because for me, I think it's a culture we have grown over time. It's a culture because when I was very, very young, I still heard my dad play songs from the 70s.
Yeah.
And even when I grew, I still heard him grow with that music.
Those songs, yeah.
But now we shove songs away easily. Even not songs, even actors, actresses.
We retire them quickly.
We retire them. So you
but-
come for 6
but-
months and you're already, this guy.
school.
Yeah, because there's a new guy.
But again, going by what you said, if you gave me the same names you mentioned, Ofori Mbonsanhu, Dada KD, and said it's a Has and Kotoko game, during that 15-minute halftime break, you want them to put up a show. I think the creativity of whoever is producing that segment is what's going to make the difference.
Yes, I agree with you.
And I think in our eventing space, that is one thing we've been lacking.
But George, how
hold
do
on.
you do that without the money?
Hold on. Let me give you an example. Some time back, the VGMs introduced that old school, that throwback block. And like it or yes, for a very long time, it was people's favorite show. I remember the one with Dasabre. Yeah. That was before he died. Yeah. He did. I think he died the year after or so. And that night, the auditorium was on fire. You understand? There've been one, I think Akitichi have also been there. Yeah. It was lit. I remember the day, there was one with Tiny. That year, Papi Kujo had been nominated for Best New Act. Papi Kujo was going crazy in the auditorium. You understand? So I think it's the creativity of whoever is producing that event. And talking about the creativity and production and money and everything, for those who missed the Super Bowl halftime show, let me play this to put our next conversation into proper context. Then we'll come back and continue.
The National Football League welcomes you to the Pepsi Super Bowl 56 halftime show. Give it up for Dr. Dre.
It's not the main event, but a Super Bowl halftime show. The 13-minute-long $1 million a minute extravaganza takes thousands of people, months of planning, and near military precision to pull off. The halftime show affords musical artists the opportunity to wow a captive audience of more than 100 million people. The year 1967 birthed this brilliant idea with marching school bands, after which 1991 welcomed pop artists onto its lineup. Pop star Michael Jackson introduced that breakthrough performance that would register the show as a must-watch TV show, further attracting commercial sponsors. According to Forbes, the cost of producing the halftime shows is between the $10 to $15 million range, if not higher. This throws more light into why the selection process of the show performers begins with a panel which includes officials from the American National Football League production company, as well as the directors and producers of the halftime show. The aftermath of the scrutiny is a handing over of a shortlist to the Super Bowl's hosting city for a final decision, heavily backed by the notion that performers must make a statement. Two other important elements considered are genre relevance and popularity. Headlining artists like Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Coldplay, Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Bruce Springsteen, among others, have over the years made bold statements with their performances. However, none of them were paid. The NFL only pays for the expenses of the band, its handlers, and support staff. Performers rather make revenue through diverse ways, including streams, resulting from their performances. According to Spotify, J-Lo and Shakira both saw a major spike in music streams after performing in the 2020 edition with 335% and 203% increase respectively. The following year, The Weeknd invested $7 million of his own money into his performance and saw the highest streaming spike for his song, House of Balloons, which was only played during the show. Even though the Super Bowl halftime show happens to be a lucrative gig, Artists like Rihanna, Pink, and Cardi B turned down the halftime show in support of former quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, Colin Kaepernick, who took a stance against social injustice. Hip-hop mogul Jay-Z also inked his name on the decline list, citing requests by the NFL on surprise appearances as his reason.
Undefeated with the cane too. I said no to the Super Bowl. You need me, I don't need you. Every night we in the end zone. Tell the NFL we in stadiums too.
Ironically, Jay-Z's Rock Nation went on to partner the NFL in 2019 in a deal that sought to optimize the league's entertainment arm and also amplify their social justice efforts. Rock Nation went on in 2020 to name Hollywood's Jesse Collins as the executive producer of the halftime show, making him the first ever black executive producer of the show. Hear what Jesse Collins had to say after this year's record-breaking show.
You know, this is one of the fastest first halves in NFL history. And so we had to make sure that there was plenty of production value, lights in the stadium, huge set, and then just monster hits. I mean, just an incredible team. I mean, that thing came on in, I think, less than 8 minutes tonight. The DPS team, the Rock Nation team, the NFL, everybody just working hard, knowing that we had no choice. You had to get that on.
Team members in technical and production department also recounted their efforts leading up to the success of the show.
Hey everybody, I'm Bruce Rogers, production designer of the Super Bowl halftime show. This is my 16th halftime show. When you're designing a halftime show and the bar is really high that we've raised constantly every year after year after year, you don't go to design anything easy. It has to be epic and you need to have that connection with your audiences. You're not designing a televised performance for 200 million. You're designing a live performance for 80,000 people. And it's the camera's job to capture the connection between the artist and the live audience. And that always translates to everybody watching on television that wishes they were right there. The production crew that we have, that's an elite group of people, we could take on any crew in the whole universe in film, live shows, Broadway. They are world class and they step up and they pull off these incredible epic shows.
This year's Super Bowl shot up with the best ratings in the last 5 years, averaging 112.3 million viewers across television and streaming, according to NBC Universal, which aired the event. The widely praised 2022 halftime show, which featured Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar, was a top 10 hit, topping 7% from last year's stint by The Weeknd. Aside the rave reviews, headliners for this year's show, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg had plenty to celebrate after both hip-hop legends scored their first ever billion-view video on YouTube in the wake of the extravaganza.
And I still got love for the streets, so it's the DRE.
It's Showbiz A to Z.
Transformer, or they want something I'm like an informant. That's what here, one more, no one will format. What trouble, Joe, no, the Kuma, you are the same Kunko, and I want shit, I didn't see hypocritical industry players hoping to ridicule you. Ra, yeah, you dance in the Kuma Yensu. Yeah, we'll come one soon. One day you're hot, next day you're not. Assuming 50 years, I'm never getting caught. I'm bold on the tracks, like king of the airwave. Oh, yes, all right.
And this is another beautiful one from the Man Trick featuring AI, produced by Otting. So The Weeknd spent $7 million to make his cinematic Super Bowl halftime show. Dr. Dre's Super Bowl halftime show viewership soared to 29 million households. In that documentary, we try to unpack it. Now let's bring the conversation to the studio. Let me start from Kujo. Kujo, I don't know if you follow the Super Bowl. Did you watch the show?
Unfortunately, that was the night that we were doing Akwabwa.
Yes,
but
yes,
I was
yes,
watching
yes. It was 13th of
when the show
February.
was going on, and I've taken time to actually watch the full show over and over again. I've watched the behind the scenes. I've watched the trailer of the setting up and then the dismantling, for the actual event to continue. Because let's not forget that the Super Bowl is a American football match.
Yeah.
NFL. The halftime show is just 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Of the show.
Yeah.
So I've watched I've watched the whole thing over and over again. I've watched all the ads that were played during the halftime when they were turning the stadium, into a world-class facility for entertainment, and then when they had to turn it back again to a football stadium. I've watched the show. I've cried.
Why have you cried?
And I've also laughed. I've cried because I'm like, hey, I didn't never say. When can we get to the point where, as a show producer, you look at the budget and now you can dream to say, okay, now I want to do this and then do it well. That has been my cry. Like, when can we get to this point where budget is not an issue? All you want to do is dream. Like, I say, okay, I want to put Drake on the halftime show of Kotoko and Haas match, and I have even 1 million CDs to produce the show, and I sit down with you, George, and your immediately you see the money, your creative juices starts coming. Like, immediately you know that budget that you have, you start dreaming.
Yeah.
Because you cannot dream, from nothing.
True.
So I've watched it, and I've as somebody who is in that industry, I've cried. That has made me cry because, Charlie.
You see, for me, I didn't cry like you. I was just looking at numbers. The Super Bowl itself was viewed by 103 million people across America. That halftime show, the halftime show, no penal, was watched by 107 million. The numbers went up just for the halftime show. And after the halftime show, the numbers went back. It dropped again. I want us to look at the impact of, because early on, was it Drake? Was it you or Kujo who made that session about a Haas and Kotoko game and having a musician in there? I want to look at it from a different perspective. Appreciation of the value of entertainment on every aspect of our lives. And when I say entertainment, I'm talking showbiz, film, television, mainly. Film, music, mainly. Trig, I mean, you have been a musician. Yeah. Over the years, do you think in Ghana we haven't really valued music the way we should?
Yeah, I've always said that it's one sector we've really talked down on. I mean, and it starts from the home. Now a school question idea also be tunyum. I'll be show.
No, they say it also be concert.
It's grown with us all through our journey as Ghanaians. We've seen it as the other job. Okokoya na anye na odiafaho.
Last stop.
At least a hot day. The winner 1 or 2 maybe, and then to the talents themselves, our orientation. You just want to hit. You want to make money. And then even the making money, the scope is small. You're thinking from the studio, a big hit, playing shows and collecting your money. It's not expanded to the point where you are thinking beyond that. And so and then the executive who probably maybe even used to be your classmate or knows you in their neighborhood sees you as the guy that never used to do anything serious. He went to school, he becomes an executive. He still has that in his mind because he also didn't have an orientation to think that there's a role played, you know, people, we watch movies, we watch our screens, and we don't even think that the music behind it, the sound scoring, the engineering behind it, it was done by a professional. In fact, we don't even see it as a profession that demands training, teaching. We're talking about production of shows. People don't even think that there's a team behind it, running it, doing Charlie, this commercial for Go Now, this one for Go Now. People actually, when I went on radios, when I actually realized that people think, you know, you run the show from your mind. You know, they don't think that there's a script given to you. Even within the business, the producers are seen as the nobodies. You know, so everybody, I mean, the radio presenter is seen as the guy, the main guy, and then the producer is meanwhile the producer is the skeleton for the show. In fact, he is the show. Owner of the show. You know, so these things have not, there are things that haven't been given. So the knowledge base is not so big. So of course they will see it as, oh, you know, and then the big men who are our friends also, they will call you when maybe his girl is around, you know, sing happy birthday song, you know, do this, you know. So it's there. It's being like, it's cultural. It's cultural. And so it will take time for us to, and it will take us to create that value. You know, to take all of us. And when I say us, not just us as creatives, but the people along the value chain. Because one person cannot create the value. The ecosystem is huge. You know, so from the event organizer, the radio presenter, the radio producer, the TV guy, us as pundits now, we must be intentional about how we're informing the people about our sector. You know, when you look at the other industries or even the other sectors, from lawyers to other, you know, yes, they complain about their issues, they talk about it, but well, they have a way of protecting the profession. And so for me, you can talk about the individual. If I have an issue with a Rasta, I can have an issue with Rasta. But when the third person comes in and it's not from our fraternity, I have to be conscious about the fact that I must protect it, so that when the other person is like, hey, these people, you have to do. Now the other culture too is the ethics. You know, everybody knows that entertainers are told to come at 9 o'clock. They will come at 12. And so they are dealing with corporate bodies who don't joke with time, who have a corporate language. I remember the last event we're talking about in SA. We put publicity out. They made us call it all back because there was a spelling mistake. And so, and I remember when I was talking to one of the bloggers, he got upset. And I was telling him that, Jack, you know, before me, there's a corporate language, you know, so I beg you, do it this way. In fact, the people took it back and wrote the PR for us and made us just blog it as they want it to look like and to be like, you know. And so we must take ourselves also serious. We must make sure if 12 is 12. If you come in, even if you book me and it's for an hour, you don't beg me to perform more than an hour. It's an hour. If you also, your sound check is at 5 and I come, the sound check must be at 5. And so when respect is through the entire chain, you know, it's automatic. We all, I mean, everybody knows that there are protocols when you are entering the Flagstaff house. And so you know it, no matter how big you are, you follow. You know, even the Flagstaff house is too far. Certain places, like when you're going to the Ministry of Defense, there are certain things you can't do there. When you go to a hospital, you know you are sick. You can't just walk into the doctor's office. You go to the reception,
DOPD, and all those things. Take your temperature and all those
things. So we must try so that when I come to a show, I know that there's a producer. I know that at this time there's this. So people who are also paying, we must sell the value to them. That, for instance, red carpet is 7 o'clock. They've always said they'll drive you to the place at 7, and it always goes over it. We make it look like it's fine. You know, because the talents come late and we still tolerate it.
True.
You know, so if maybe by the time you come, all the shuttle leave. And so you have to now cross the road yourself. Walk yourself.
Next time you come earlier.
We were with myself, Chami Quaye, a few of artists at Channel O Music Awards when Channel O was Channel O. And I remember they said they will pick, the last shuttle will pick us at 6. And as usual, I bet for us, you know, it be so. So
you know your 6.
We know, yeah. So
your 6 was like 7, 8.
6,
7, 8.
6:30 inside the.
So by 6:30, 45, we make ready.
They shall to go.
We did there. So somebody tell you, say, Charlie, if we don't go, they go close the thing. Because the show had already started. And because they are telecasting live, they couldn't wait. We missed the red carpet. And also selling of certain features of the event itself. The red carpet is sold for a particular a client.
A particular broadcaster.
So they can't afford to have you miss that. And then like you're saying with the Super Bowl, you mentioned so many parts. I mean, the halftime show, like Pepsi has hijacked it because they know the eyeballs that
and they know the value.
It will come in there. Data collection, like I said, when you can boldly say, Charlie, my show, 20,000 people attend, and the facts are there to prove it. And this is what. And I think sometimes when we are also maybe in meetings as creatives, we sort of we look very vulnerable. We look very desperate.
Be the test.
And so they don't realize that, Charlie, they also need the numbers that you carry. You know, and I think that.
But did you see the Super Bowl show though?
I did.
What are your thoughts on it?
I see it. I saw it as a lot of thinking had gone through it. A lot of planning, a lot of money had gone through it. The Super Bowl has traveled a long journey.
Very.
It's not a Today show. Yeah. And there are a lot of huge companies behind it. When you look at the history of the Super Bowl, it's not like a Today thing. So they've made it. They've had their moment. They had low moments. Now it's all over the place because yes, new media is also there. You know, so like you were saying, the Super Bowl is like our league. You know, that we have here. Back then, we had that same excitement when, you know, let's say Hearts and Kotoko, like we're saying. That excitement used to be there. Yeah. You know, it used to be there, and people were like crazy. Like, my uncle still has a cut from a Hearts and Kotoko argument. And he's still, I don't know what, okay. He's still a Hearts fan. Like, he still says, you know? So they are still, but we lost it, you know, along the line. You know, we didn't sustain it. You know, so when I was watching it, I was like, hey, Charlie, when even Philip called me, I said, well, I wouldn't put that money into as an artist. No, I wouldn't do it.
Why wouldn't you?
Because in every market, you must make your market analysis.
Okay. In other words, you have sense.
And listeners, the voice you hear is that of Kwame Rasta. He's joined us, so please pardon him.
No, because you see, and me, myself and Rasta, we've had so many conversations. Yes, it's good to invest, but for me as a performer, you know, I would ask myself a lot of questions.
A performer in Ghana.
In Ghana. Thank you. You must respect your where you find yourself. If you study marketing, you know, it is there. You may take your socio-cultural factors. You know, there are factors, external and internal factors.
You go back. You ask you. So let's relate it to a Ghanaian show. If you are an artist,
I won't put that money.
And VGMA says, oh, okay, they are putting you on
opening act
as an opening act, but for the whole event, their budget for your production for your show is 5,000. Would you now say that, okay, I want to own the show, so me and my management, we have sat down, we get some other 50K where we go take ad, so that I won't come in palanquin, but the palanquin I won't cut. When I go at center, they say it will cost 20K. And the cloth I won't wear, it be bone rate, so that 125K. If you put it all together, it be 50K. Would you put that money in?
I won't do it.
Will you stop that?
But this is me. Another artist might do it.
Exactly, that's where I was going to. That's straight.
So
yes.
I won't do it because I'll look at the factors here.
Like what?
I probably might perform for but I won't put that money into it. I would look at things like the aftermath. You know, would it fetch me? Who are the people watching VGMA now? You know, because we are talking about now, or
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, now.
Who are the people watching VGMA now? Are those people still
Following you, per
listening
se?
to me? Are those still an audience I want to tap into? If all boxes tick yes, then and Sadiq walks in at a time where I was about to mention his show in the I would have loved to do that one, because it hasn't been exhausted yet. You see, I always say that the way we talk down on things, we don't see the long effect.
Yeah.
Because every time there's like VGMA, we talk down on it so much that it has lost the value. And so I wouldn't invest into that. You see, Sadiq, Three Music
yeah.
did something with their awards.
Yeah.
I would have invested in that. Because then after that, I can have the copy of that and still use it with as for myself.
So there are
as my
events,
product.
there are events in Ghana that if they approach you to perform and there's money for your production, you will be willing to put in more money.
Oh yes,
because for me,
no, Kojo, I think he's made the point clear. For him, it
For
is
me,
a matter of placement.
Yes.
Where he thinks
Depends
his
on-
fans will
on
follow
the
the
event.
most. Yeah,
Yes.
depends on the
For
event.
instance, if I'm put on a Stambik Jazz Festival,
Yeah.
I would do it.
You'd invest into it.
I would invest to it because I want to tap into that market. I feel there are certain markets that even no matter how hard I try, it will not be, because I'll still put on my kaftan and still do my live band music and still do maybe traditional music and all. That's where I want to go.
Yeah.
But maybe if I'm handling another artist that is young and vibrant and they say opening act and I have to put in 20,000, I might consider it.
There's a message here says, hello, I think we make a fundamental mistake here and worse, we lambast the wrong guys. Marketing executives and corporates have shareholders and targets to report to. It is actually a rather simple matter. If we align what we can do to their objectives, then they will come on board. After all, who doesn't want returns? So as you can see, we have we have work to do with the alignment. It is also important how we handle and carry ourselves. All they want is result. So with all they want is result, I ask myself, Rasta, you're welcome. Sadiq, you're also welcome. Yes. Yes, good. Let me see if your mic is working.
Thank you, George.
Yes, your mic is working. That's Sadiq. Okay, good. Yeah. Now, and Rasta, I'm coming to you. You saw the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I saw bits of it.
You saw the snippets of it. Okay. It is the Pepsi Super, and I think if I'm not mistaken, this is what, the 56th edition or 57th or 50th? I think it's 50.
Yeah, since 67. So
no, is it 67?
1967. That was the
no,
first time.
LVI in Roman numerals. George, somebody check it for me.
Yeah.
We should continue.
It's the 56.
It's the 56, yeah? 56th edition. Good. Okay.
George.
Okay. So I am asking myself, could you early on mentioned things which, in all practicality, yes, a lot of the companies that we approach here do that. Okay, give me tie-in, cockage, or whatever it is they call it. So per every ticket, there's some revenue that they want. This person here is mentioning results. Super Bowl does not do cockage matter. Pepsi does not do cockage matter.
Brand equity matter.
Brand equity, and the biggest takeout for them at that event is a Toma.
It's what?
Toma. The top of mind awareness. Because really and truly.
And I can like
Toma.
So like I should have gotten it when you first mentioned.
Sorry. You know, the brand equity, the top of mind awareness. So you enter a shop, you want a soda, you want a beverage. It is believed that by that association and the buzz that it created and the noise and everything, Pepsi has registered on your mind. So when you enter, anytime you want a drink, you may go for Pepsi. Why don't the people here look at it from that perspective? And they always want physical value cash.
You are referring to corporate people?
Yes,
like...
some of the corporate organizations here. Okay. In all honesty, in all fairness, a lot of them, like the MTNs and stuff, they've done very well for our creative space. Sometimes I keep asking myself, a company like MTN did not exist. How would a lot of entertainment shows happen? I mean, in all honesty, I am yet to meet any company that has sponsored any other show more than MTN. You understand? In a year alone, when you look at the entertainment, say again. They are yet to sponsor 3 Music. Yeah, maybe you should approach them. Because, when you look at the catalog of programs and events that is in the entertainment space, and Kojo also mentioned Vodafone and the others, they are doing very well. So these people don't come and don't tell you that for every ticket, I want you to give 5 CDs back in form of credits. And Kojo, imagine if they were to do that. Yeah. So how come some of the bottling companies, that is all they know?
I would probably do less if I were any of these people.
Yeah.
Because the issue that confronts our space here is a culture thing. Inbred. Even in our local communal settings, how we appreciate art at the basic level, at the folklore level. Yeah. And how we want to let those acts or artists realize or remind them that, you are special, you have something that is rare. That appreciation, that whole, and how we go about it is reflected in how, in the urban space or in our this level, is being appreciated, because the Nigerian situation or the Francophone situation is completely different. Even with protocols that Trig went on and ended up using the hospital scene to illustrate his point, even there, and even on the lighter side, listen, Trig, it is true that when you get to the hospital, you go through those protocols when you are sick, and you must adhere. But when you are dead, you see the doctor faster, For checks, he say you dead. But that's just by the way. Trig, again, even with protocols, the artist's attitude. There are huge global transgenerational brands like Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson,
Muhammad Ali,
Amy Winehouse, and which other notorious one again? Yes, even these 3 are worse than all of you guys put. I mean, the Indian film. The people who we know say if you give them 6, they go reach there 3-12. They are worse, but they had things going for them. So it is not a sine qua non, if you want, in determining how we or what we provoke from the corporate world. I believe that because it is inbred, because even experts who come to occupy these positions are giving reports that these people, if you don't mind them, we still go make the profit, because even by them own selves, this is how they are, this is who they are. You could speak to, and again, listening to you guys coming here, I was like, you see, when you play video game, the pictures and everything looks like
you could visualize
in the future, a futuristic kind of thing, like not the HD versions. The picture quality, everything is advanced than even what it is, and that's how I was like trying to figure you guys. You are somewhere and you are discussing something which is not going to be applicable here. Forget it, guys. See, when I was 18, I walked up to Accra Hasselfolk Sporting Club Limited. They were then housed at Tudu. And then proposed to them that this is the first time after the government had issued the white paper subsequent to the May 9th disaster at the Accra Sports Stadium. This is the first time Hassan Kotoko are coming to play together. And there's this phobia that, hey, Uko Stadium, and that kind of thing. So how about we occupy, and I've also observed that it is boredom. The devil finds work for idle hands. It is during, and by 10, 11 a.m. back in the day, na stadium Ayema. So petty arguments and whatnot builds up to small decision, and then it triggers a bigger situation. So how about we organize a musical concert to keep them occupied
whilst they wait,
whilst we wait for kickoff? And me, an 18, I walked from here. Where are we? Circle here to Tudu.
Yeah.
We see Muntem. And when I went there, Mr. Ashford Tutoku was then the administrative manager. He asked me to sit down. I sat till like 6 after his secretary had left. Long story short, Hasofo gave me the contract. They saw wisdom in what I had proposed, and me as an 18-year-old boy signed a contract between Kwame Agyemang-Beko and Accra Hasofo Sporting Club Limited. At that time, one of Africa's biggest acts was a certain Tic Tac. Slim Buster, I mean, he was like my father, so I hired them. And then there was this young guy who lived in my neighborhood, and he had started recording with Hammer. But he only had one published work on Padogo's album, Tiny Fresh. So my area party actually paid him 7,000 to perform, because V103 had come to Ghana early, fresh and all that. Now the point is, it is, George, you mentioned a bit about production.
Yeah.
It is possible. But in fact, even if it's a funeral, there's always, depending on who is dead, there's an opportunity for a corporate or brand to cash in.
To associate.
Now, at base, the events we have here, which numbers are we commanding for anybody to give you anything? VGM is, yes, within that period that you'd want to slot in and invest in, who and who are watching, and what do you get aftermath? The already existing events elsewhere that we are trying to glean or deduct any advantages or lessons from, these are completely different events with global reach.
So for you, the argument is about numbers. If the VGMs, for instance, can walk up to you and say that, okay, within this territory, these are the numbers that we garner when we are on air that evening. The VGMS is live. We are live across Joy Prime, Joy News TV, my Joy Online platforms. Even Heights FM is carrying us live on radio. And at this particular period, we can guarantee or deliver this number of people to you. Trick can now say, okay, if this is the number that you have, this number, let us say I'm able to do some performance, even if they are not my fan base, they may go on Spotify or iTunes or something to want to hear my song because the performance blew them away, which was what all the Dr. Dre and people, their numbers just skyrocketed. You know, after that great performance. So if I'm picking what Rasta said, and something similar to what Trig also did mention, if the numbers, if the event planners can actually come to the table with numbers, perhaps corporate Ghana might listen. Sorry, let me. I haven't heard. Let me go to Obi Nate, then I'll come to you, Sadiq. Obi.
George, I think that the conversation is more about the event planners and then those who, like the music, the artists.
I think it's a three-way thing. The event planners, the artists, and the brands that leverage on it. Because you see, the initial investment will be made by the event planner, but the event planner will seek support from the corporate. Or could you?
Yeah.
And the artist is just the last part of the puzzle.
We sit here and then we see that every weekend there is a match, right?
Yeah.
There's a football match in Ghana. That commands lots of numbers. Even when there is COVID, see the numbers that went to watch Accra House of Folk and Kotoko. Now, have we capitalized on it as
who are we?
When I mean who are we? Yes, so we don't have a definition.
No, but that this is where I come in.
Yeah.
If you are a brand, okay, not the Super Bowl halftime production, the technical production for the halftime show is put together by Jay-Z's company. They have it. Okay. They are the production company brought on by the NFL to manage the production of that halftime show. Their job is to just handle production.
You see,
no, I'm coming. Just like a production company. Like if you take Three Music job is to produce an award show. I am a brand called Mr. Kojopoku. I see 3 Music as an avenue where I can extend my brand. What am I looking from that association? Am I looking for direct sales? Or am I looking at brand equity? Am I looking at leveraging on that brand to say, okay, the youth who are going to watch 3 Music will now feel like it's cool to buy my brand? Am I looking at that for that connection? It seems as if in Ghana, if you are doing event, you, the event company, have to now take on the burden of a marketing company and now think for the brand. That is where I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We don't see event as, so like what you're saying, it's up to a company to see Kotoko and Has match as an opportunity and now see how they can leverage on it, and now even go to a production company to say, I see Kotoko and match and Has match as an opportunity. I want you to set up an activation stand at the entrance. Don't even look at the halftime show. I want you to set up an activation stand at the entrance, and for everyone who comes in, offer the person even a flyer, and let the person be able to download my app while the person gets ready to get in there. Now, they are now going to burden Kotoko and Has, the management, to now do all that for them. And they will say, oh, when we sponsored Kotoko and Has match, we didn't get anything out of it. You didn't get anything out of it because you did not put in the right structures. Theirs is to have a match. You giving them money as sponsor does not necessarily mean that Kotoko and Has now have to go and find another company. It is your brand. You understand the brand and the nitty-gritty of the brand more than anybody else.
Kojo, I get your point. Let me bring Sadiq into the conversation here, because where hold on. Oh, you didn't finish. It was your point. Okay, you finish your point. Then I'll
the brands in Ghana.
Yeah.
Needs to. I mean, when I mean brands, I mean like
the musicians and stuff. Yeah.
Or those of us who
are into the showbiz space.
Need to establish and understand the market. So like Kwame said, he saw a need that if he approaches a crowd of folk, per what has happened, he will be able to change a certain perception. That is where we need to get to, than to wait for these brands
to come to us.
They will not.
But you see, your point is pretty clear. Kojo said something which I think is scary. If that's what it is, then it means we probably would never get any sponsorship, because I am looking at myself as a marketing executive of GQ pens and pencils. And Sadiq has come. He wants to produce Sadiq Kojo and Friends pool party at some poolside somewhere. And they want me to sponsor. How much? We've agreed on a sum. I've given them the money. Now, based on what Kojo is saying, I now have to leave my other work schedule, all my other deliverables, my deadlines that I have to meet, my sales balance and everything else that I have to do, so that I now start thinking of how to make the best out of that sponsorship. Now, Sadiq, so understanding our space, wouldn't it rather be easier that in your proposal to me, you also tell me how I can benefit from your show?
Well, I mean, it's
aside you mention my name on your advert, you place my logo on your billboard. Wouldn't it be better that you do that thinking for me? If you did that thinking for me, don't you stand a better chance at getting the sponsorship?
Well, literally no. Also because sponsorship, the market is declining. I think 5 years ago there was a report on the size of the marketing budget. I think it was pegged at 300 million cedis per annum. So far, and out of that 300 million cedis, everybody is getting in there.
Yeah, everybody.
We all want to. Everything is getting and stuff like that. And if you understand the market, you realize that when one particular element of the market goes up, it affects another. So there are a number of multiplicity of factors that affect how they do some of these things. When you come to sports, for instance, at a certain level, regulation, for instance, took the beverage companies from sports, right? When they took their money from sport because there was regulation and Guinness couldn't be on the sporting activity and all of those things, they will definitely find other BTL activities. And when they find it and it's working, they get stuck there. So then now when you go back and you're trying to reignite it, because of the regulation, they found a way. Currently, we know that regulation, for instance, is making it hard for alcoholic beverage companies and betting companies to partner with some of these entertainment. So it takes the funds away. Now, when there is no enough money to go around, and there are a lot of activities like the ones we have, it leaves us at the mercy of the brand, and that's when they will ask for a lot more things than you can provide even with the budget that they give. Again, mind that when BTL space went up, because the BTL space generally, that is in terms of the own properties they have, of course events and everything are part of it, but in terms of when there was an upscale in having their own properties, for instance, and also engaging agencies, BTL agencies, to do their stuff, there are a lot of reasons why. There's one particular conversation nobody's talked about, the issue of, kickbacks and marketing discipline and all of those things, and how there's a lot more BTL activities than having to sponsor events. That's something that we talk in private. But it also has an impact on some of these properties, because you would have some marketing guys that would rather they do the BTL activities with a certain agency because it'd be there they get the money back, and not some of these activities where they would have to spend more and not get much. Those things are also there, right? So when there's much more monies to go around, and there's a lot of activities that they're having to do, like the BTL activities and everything, which delivers the same effect to them, it obviously will take funds away from people like you and myself who create different properties, third-party properties, and want them to leverage on it. So now but there is a certain move, and there's something that I've monitored. There are a number of international brands, for instance, that are looking to use Ghanaian events and Ghanaian entertainment experiences as focal points to push through in Africa. And they are expanding it. But the way it ought to be is that after you've given the initial funds for sponsorship, you ought to explore that sponsorship. That was why when Goldface gave money to GFA, they had EXP managing that and exploring the benefit for them.
Benefits for
That's
them.
how it ought to be.
That's the point.
But like I said, when the total budget that is there to be explored is less, and regulation is also taking some of it away, it leaves very, very little for a lot of us to compete for it. So in that instance, either the brands like MTN will do what they do, which is stretch that budget for a lot more events like they did in December, or having to give it to one massive one. It's up for them to decide, depending on what they think works for them. And so there are some of these things really do take funds from it. But it's very important to know that some of the biggest sponsors, because of regulation, possibly maybe expensive operations, the tax element they've got to pay, and all of those things sum up to impact spaces like ours.
There's a message here that says, did you guys hear the response to the 40k music video investment? I get the opinion from those artists, but the communication the investor will get from that is the art is not worth that amount. Now, if the arts themselves do not consider their craft worth 40k, why should I, Quaye, fund them with such an amount? That is from a gentleman called Nana Quaye. Background. An artist, I don't know if you all follow the 40k, so you're all clearly aware of what he's talking about. And that is a solid point. No, and that is a solid point.
Remember my conversation? I'm taking you guys back to my issues with Shatawale, for instance, last year. When he made certain comment, and I said that it's wrong. The media platform needed to correct him because the things that he was saying would affect investor confidence. It comes back to the same thing.
To the same thing.
The other part of it as well is how we also contribute to overall some of this problem in lowering perception about the industry. Some of those comments that lacks insight, that is allowed, and people will do it because it's stunts. They have to do it, and also because nobody can call them to order because they've weaponized their fan armies and everything.
But hold the thought.
It helps to create a certain perception, which also ultimately affects them. Because if it's creating a perception, or further creating a perception of an unserious industry, definitely the brand, if they have money for a BTL activity, will rather an agency they can manage who is serious.
But
to
Sadiq,
manage it than having to.
In all fairness to Shatawale as well, going by this message that we've just read, he has consistently opined that the artists are poor. And when you look at his positioning, isn't it an amount of how much premium you are placing on yourself? And that is one thing that he has said consistently, that Ghanaian artists do not know how to ask for their own. They don't know how to, and they are all living poor lives, and they are not. Somebody may say that might affect investor confidence, but don't you think in a way that is also to inspire his fellow artists to also quote confidently and also speak boldly?
George, it depends.
Like
if it's a
Shatta,
very
Are you
consistent.
referring to Shatta inspiring
George.
anybody?
Yes.
No, George. If it's a very consistent.
Hold on.
They cannot even get sponsorship.
What I'm saying is that there's a reason why Shatawale does not enjoy airplay on international TV networks because of the quality of videos.
Well, there's a reason why his streams are declining.
Because the quality of videos that are shot are not the likes that can be shown on BET and the rest. There are some of the videos that he has done that are top notch.
Oh, some are being shown.
Are
I mean,
very,
some of the videos are nice and they show.
I'm just bringing you back to the point where somebody said 40K.
Yeah.
If you want to get to that level, you need to invest.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Dre, after he has been given 10 million
exactly
to do a show,
said,
you know what, I want to revive my brand.
Yeah.
I want to get to a certain point. I want to put in 7 extra million so that after the show is over, all that everybody remembers is Dre.
Exactly. And it worked.
The results is there to show.
It worked.
Weekend did that 2 years before him. Weekend got what he wanted out of that. And so when he got to his 10,
Prince got it.
And actually, Princess remains as the number one. If you're looking at the rankings of Super Bowl handle, Prince is still at number one.
Production companies and promoters and event companies are putting in.
It's a whole ecosystem that we need to collaborate and do.
Artists are not left off the hook. Artists must also invest in them. We go through this all the time where you invest and you invite an artist to come and perform at 3 Music, and an artist wants to charge so much. You want to charge me so much. You know I don't have sponsorship. What money do I use to produce your show? To produce your act?
I do not care about that.
That's why you will be left with a microphone, an empty stage, few lights, no special effect, and you are left on your own. And you'll be jumping from one end to the other, and your show will be over, and nobody will even want to watch it again. But what we fail to admit is that what we saw at the halftime show was a complete production from A to Z.
Yes, it was.
Dre was the producer for almost all the songs on the show. He was put in that chair.
Yeah.
And for every single artist that performed, he was the one like a conductor conducting it. Like, but now you charge me so much as an event producer to perform on an industry event like 3 Music. You charge to perform there, and now you want me to find extra money to now produce your act, because let's get it, your act has to be produced from what you wear, how you enter, how you perform, and how you exit. It has to be produced. So artists sit in Ghana and watch these things, and they go like, oh, this is nice. It was produced because nobody charged money for it. Nobody has ever taken money to perform at Super Bowl. In fact, artists lobby for years to be on Super Bowl. And they lobby to perform at Grammys. They lobby to perform at all the shows that we sit here and we watch like, oh wow. It is money that somebody could have given to the artist to go and chop, that they use the money to produce the show for the artist.
And then you see, George,
don't worry. My time on this one is up. Did you ever go and match assist match? Have you ever gone to match before?
Oh no.
You've never gone to match before?
No.
Which primary school did you attend?
Oh, I attend correct school.
Your school didn't allow you to be matching?
Saito people, you know, beside the international school people really match.
Then you know they match some. Kojo, did you ever go and match?
Yes, from Prempeh College. I used to join the cadets. So
you go and match. Obi, did you match?
No, I won't go.
Why won't you go? Or your school?
In leg long too
much. My school was a military school. I will go and sacrifice myself for the sun. And collapse and will give me money.
Rasta, did you ever match?
No.
Why? You to your school, they weren't matching.
Okay, so
that
I
are
tried
schools.
and failed.
How do you try and fail matching?
Yes.
Matching till you try and fail.
Sing the hands and the left.
You were doing your left.
Then my group.
In fact, it's one of my lows in life.
Treg, did you ever match?
Yeah, I matched, yeah.
Which school?
Martin Forest.
Oh, okay. You guys went to match. Did you match in the school or you went to Independence Square?
I matched, Independence. I matched as
a
cadet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, interesting. I didn't much at in primary and GSS. Association International weren't doing stuff like that. Yeah, we weren't. Mrs. Aya will not even allow you.
They better the site more.
So why, George? You asked the question to know this.
No. But in secondary school, I was a cadet, so I also marched. Yes, I marched as a cadet.
What got of your height?
Oh. The devil is alive. Hey, Philip.
Shot us in front.
Let the guy go and wait for us outside.
Could you have to tell them that.
Go and wait for us outside.
Your height mates are leading parade today.
They have no.
Your height mates have been leading parade for some few years now.
The Ghana forces, they will tell you we don't take people who are you saluting.
Exactly.
The commander. It's Ghana's first ever full-length animation movie, and you've got to see it. 28th, The Crossroads by Parables Animation Studios in collaboration with Animation Africa. It's a recreation of a key event that led to Ghana's independence. It's a story of love, determination, tragedy, and hope in a format fit for the entire family. 28th, The Crossroads premieres on Monday, 28th February at 7 p.m. at the Silverbird Cinemas, Accra Mall, and West Hills Mall. Get your ticket today at only 50 Ghana cedis from Silverbird Cinemas, Airport Shell, Maxmart, and Bachelor Total. Or dial a short code *899*60# or visit www.studioparables.com. 28th, The Crossroads. It's not just a story, it's our history in a riveting animated film. Don't miss it.
Get ready for the biggest experience of your life on Sunday, the 20th of March, 2022. Come join Donnie McClellan, Joe Metal, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, Akesi Brimpong, Vicky Frimpong, and Ella Duncan Williams King as MOG Music presents New Wine Concert dubbed Koinonia, a live album recording, also featuring Japhet Ajete and Theodelia Mateki at the Oil Dome Royal House Chapel International. The time is 5 p.m. Rate Gallery 30 Ghana cedis, double 50 Ghana cedis, regular 50 Ghana cedis, and VIP 100 Ghana cedis. Dial *389*777# or visit tickets.newwineconcert.com to purchase your tickets. Sponsors: Belacqua, Tang Palace, Delta Airline, Royal House Chapel International, DDP, eTransact, and Oasis Studio. Media partners: Joy FM, Joy Prime. Come and let's lay it all on the altar of God.
In this city, love and entanglement never sleep. Purpose and sharing, fidelity has sadly become a rumor. That's why I love my girls, my happy place, my ride or die queens. We run these streets dressed to the nines, cause life is sweet and we're kinda single.
Watch Single Kiasi, a new Showmax original series about friendship, love, and entanglement. Watch now, only on showmax.com.
Jesus said that men always ought to pray and not faint. Jesus said that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. My name is Pastor Kojo Frempong, and I would like to specially invite you to join me this and every weekday from 1:30 a.m. to 4 a.m. here on Joy99.7 FM on Atmosphere of Victory. It's a time of prayer and a time of the study of the word. I believe that it is time for you and I to establish our victory over every challenge and over every battle in this life. Remember this and every weekday 1:30 a.m. to 4 a.m. here on Joy99.7 FM. Join us in this atmosphere of victory, and your victory will surely manifest to the glory of God. The Lord bless you.
Shalom, my dear friend. I am Pastor Tuakwa. There is no better way to start your day than in the presence of God. I invite you to join me on your favorite devotion program, Joy Time in His Presence, every Tuesday and Wednesday from 4 a.m. to 5:45 a.m. on Joy 99.7 FM, and on Saturdays from 3 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. I urge you to join me on Prayer Line as we connect on the superior altar of God in a time of prayer and supplication. I am also your host on A Walk with Jesus, the most authoritative Christian program on radio, specially designed to guide and direct your walk with Jesus into victory and fulfillment. Catch you every Sunday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Joy99.7 FM and on podcast at myjoyonline.com/podcast. Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners. Shalom.
Business no a bit me to say. So the projections from the first quarter show a higher total gross profit for the fiscal year. A bit me a kasa saying.
Nana, who's not land you? He did the pot right there.
A bit me to say.
Here are your items. Thank you for coming.
A bit me a kasa saying.
Yes, 2 for 10 cedi. Me no 10 cedi. 2 for 10 cedi.
What did you know? A bit me a codening and found whole business away. The beer will be your has a wow. MTN Business made to enable your business stay ahead of the pack. Jushayen, mtnbusiness.gh at mtn.com. Fre Anna was happy. I was 0244 308 111. MTN, everywhere you go.
You don't have to wait in a queue to watch a movie. You stream at home. You don't have to fight the crowds. You buy exactly what you want online and get it delivered to your doorstep. What you want comes to you when you want. It's time your banking did the same. Meet Abby, your 24/7 digital personal banker from ABSA, here to do your banking for you. Abby's a fast learner. The more you chat, the better your banking experience gets. So, if you're an ABSA customer, whether it's making enquiries, paying a friend, buying airtime, or checking your balance, just ask Abby to do it for you. Add Abby on WhatsApp 050-164-4644. Bank safely with Abby on WhatsApp, another digital innovation that gets things done. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA. Terms and conditions apply. Visit absa.com.gh.
Step up your entertainment from the 5th of January 2022. Already on GoTV Value? Then upgrade to GoTV Plus to watch GoTV Max. Or if you're on GoTV Plus, upgrade to GoTV Max to enjoy GoTV Super. Don't wait. Reconnect and step up your GoTV package today via the My GoTV app. Remember, we upgrade you to the next higher package for free. Terms and conditions apply. GoTV, love it.
It's Ghana's first ever full-length animation movie, and you've got to see it. 28th, The Crossroads by Parables Animation Studios in collaboration with Animation Africa. It's a recreation of a key event that led to Ghana's independence. It's a story of love, determination, tragedy, and hope in a format fit for the entire family. 28th, The Crossroads premieres on Monday, 28th February at 7 p.m. at the Silverbird Cinemas, Accra Mall, and West Hills Mall. Get your ticket today at only 50 Ghana cedis from Silverbird Cinemas, Airport Shell, Maxmart, and Bachelor Total. Or dial a short code *899*60# or visit www.studioparables.com. 28th, The Crossroads. It's not just a story, it's our history in a riveting animated film. Don't miss it.
Get ready for the biggest experience of your life on Sunday, the 20th of March, 2022. Come join Donnie McClelkin, Joe Metal, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, Akesi Frimpong, Vicky Frimpong, and Ella Duncan Williams King as MOG Music presents New Wine Concert dubbed Koinonia, a live album recording, also featuring Japhet Ajete and Theodelia Mateki at the Oil Dome Royal House Chapel International. The time is 5 p.m. Rate Gallery 30 Ghana cedis, double 50 Ghana cedis, regular 50 Ghana cedis, and VIP 100 Ghana cedis. Dial *389*777# or visit tickets.newwineconcert.com to purchase your tickets. Sponsors: Belacqua, Tank Palace, Delta Airline, Royal House Chapel International, DDP, eTransact, and Oasis Studio. Media partners: Joy FM, Joy Prime. Come and let's lay it all on the altar of God.
For so long, if we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
Winning strategies, nuggets of wisdom, unforgettable stories.
all in one inspirational hour. Springboard your virtual university with Albert and Comfort Okran and guests.
Planning is bringing the future into the present.
A job is for the salaries, mundane, is survival oriented, and there's no passion. But a career has fulfillment, innovation, drive. A growth path is clear, and you can build step by step all the way to the top.
Matriculate at 7 p.m. and graduate at 8 p.m. every Sunday on Joy 99.7 FM and live on Facebook. Springboard is brought to you by Legacy and Legacy and Joy 99.7 FM and proudly sponsored by MTN, Enterprise Group, UMB Bank with support from the graphic business.
Here's where we turn around.
It's Showbiz A to Z. It's Showbiz A to Z.
George is on Joy.
Keep it locked.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Joy 99.7 FM. Joy 99.7 FM.
Ghana Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're shown. What you're shown.
George on Joy.
So Timbuktu, Ghana Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're shown. Manchester, you know Sumanguru, you know what you're getting.
Music from the legendary Amanza Bernard Brew, ushering us straight into Ghana Month. March is definitely fast approaching, and we're gonna be in Ashtown. Yes, next week by this time, the show will be coming to you live from the Center for National Culture, Kumasi. You gotta be there with us, and Adansi Travels is making it possible for 25 of you to join us. Trust me, that's an experience you don't want to miss. Come fuel the rich culture and tradition of the people of Asanteman. Explore the magnificent tourist destinations, the beautiful people in Kumasi. It's gonna be special. Join the conversation as our prominent guest unravel the mystery and untold stories. The Asante Kingdom, as well as discuss the evolution of the culture and contribution to tourism and the creative space at large. It's on the 5th of March 2022, Center for National Culture. Powered by Joy Entertainment, we're large and in charge, and supported by Dancy Travels and Micklin Hotel. And on Tuesday, March 8th, the 4th National Women's Summit takes place at the Grand Arena, AICC, from 9 a.m. and celebration of International Women's Day. The summit is going to be held under the theme, joint themes actually, break the bias and you deserve a life of goodness. The global theme, break the bias, is a clarion call to society at large to break biases and stop gender stereotyping women. The sub-theme, you deserve a life of goodness, is a call for women to aspire for a life of goodness in their daily pursuits by paying attention to their well-being, because they need to be well in body, mind and spirit to be able to fully take a seat at the table. Interesting panel discussions on Break the Bias are going to be held by eclectic mix of females across generations and professions who are going to discuss what bias is, share their personal experience of bias, how they rose above that to achieve their personal dreams and successes, and most importantly, how we can all together as a society, as individuals, make a conscious effort to break the bias against females. The second session is going to be a wellness session titled You Deserve a Life of Goodness, presented by Frital and other wellness professionals, which will feature discussions on healthy eating, physical and mental health, and how all these lead to living a life of goodness. The 4th National Women's Summit is going to be aired live on Joy 99.7 from 10 a.m. to midday. And on Facebook at Frightal Ghana, YouTube at Charterhouse Live. It's sponsored by Frightal, supported by She Leads, and produced by Charterhouse in collaboration with Joy FM. And a special happy birthday going out to you, Mrs. Rejoice Deku, wife of Colonel Lawrence Deku of 28 East Arakan Barracks. Messages I love you now and forever from your husband, Colonel Lawrence Deku. Oh, Colonel, Charlie, you be sweet. Romantic Colonel. Hello, lovely people of God. Grace Citadel Church Campus Ministry is humbly inviting everyone to our upcoming program this Sunday, 27th February 2022 at the Central Cafeteria, University of Ghana campus at 4 p.m. Theme for the program is Exalting Jesus Conference. We are exalting the name of Jesus high to show how far He has brought us as a campus ministry. Also, there's going to be powerful administrations from ministers of God, including Minister Quaye Oteng, Minister Sika, Minister Tobra, and MOG, our very own man of God, Reverend Randy Impact Osai Bediako. There's also going to be ministry and powerful on that, where we are going to experience an extraordinary dimensions of the Holy Spirit. This program promises to be a good one and very impactful. We are hoping to see you there. Now, who rules England in the Carabao Cup final tomorrow? Is it going to be the Blues of Chelsea or the Reds of Liverpool? Watch the match live 4:30 p.m. on Super Sports DSTV channel 225 to enjoy the frills and thrills of the Carabao Cup finale. Only the men will be left standing this Sunday, 27th of February on DSTV. Stay connected in the access package with 52 Ghana series only to see who lifts the trophy. DSTV, feel every moment. And have you had your GHQR experience yet? All the GHQR experience fair moves to Oxford Street from the 4th to the 6th of March. Come and experience the convenience that comes with making payments with GHQR. There's going to be music, fun, and giveaways. Your financial institutions will also be available to reward you for making payments with GHQR. Let's go shopping. GHQR a fast keke, and it's absolutely free. Institutions on the GHQR include banks, MTN, Momo, GH Money, Vodafone Cash, Airtel Tigo Money, Haptel, and People's Pay. Let me come back to the studio and see if we can bring our conversations to a close. So, Trig, I mean, you're also an artist. Look, we've been marching since. Oh, Charlie, Sunday, my boy. We've been marching since to celebrate our independence. Would you say that's the best way to celebrate our independence?
I mean, absolutely not. But I mean, it's been the norm. I mean, more can be done.
Like
more
what?
can be done.
Like what?
Oh, I mean, we can have like build-ups to the main event. We can have more like creative ways. A lot of factors went into our independence. We can start highlighting, you know, a bit of that, not just by the match, because then after the match nothing happens again.
That's not...
You know, and so we can
they give them fun ice and meat pie. It used to be a dome meat pie, now it's a ding.
I think we can look at bringing, you know, and this is where we do realize that creatives are very important people, you know, because in times like this you need creatives, you need investors to come together to create things that will make the independence a real celebration, you know, beyond just the match. I think even now most of the contributors towards the celebration has been, you know, media houses, and then they will invite creatives, so we'll probably do a topsy-turvy stuff like that. I mean, the creatives are even the ones who do the extra stuff, but really thought must be put into it. It must be branded. It must be looked at as something that could be highlighted properly and packaged properly to be put out. You know, even the match pass itself must be looked at and other elements added to it, and it's changed in such a way that it won't just be people just match and don't even know why they are matching, you know, and the thought, the idea behind the match. I don't think even now, the now Ghana patriotism is there. It's very lost, and so the excitement that used to be there, kids couldn't wait to even watch TV in the morning and all of that, for our Sitma celebration. It's no longer there, and so yeah, more can be done.
More can be done. Russ, you have never had an opportunity to go and match.
I tried and failed.
So, given the opportunity, how would you suggest we celebrate our Independence Day?
George, certain things, a few things that does not make sense to me has been institutionalized at the national level all the way down, and I wouldn't use this my 2 minutes of fame to want to change anything. I think I have a bigger calling. When the event was transferred outside of Accra for the first time, Tamale. Yeah, after the Yana situation, and by my own self, I seized the opportunity, drove all the way to Tamale just for the occasion, and went on to Salaga. But I went there for that. I booked a hotel in the neighborhood I've forgotten, but I think former Vice President Ali Muhammad's neighbor, where his son currently lives, that neighborhood. And then paid, checked in, stepped out to go get food with Nash Idi. He's alive. Now, when I got back to my hotel around nearing 1 a.m., they had checked me out. I saw my luggage and my door opened. I asked why. Then I saw some frail old man, walk into my room like, listen, they had checked me out, giving me my money because according to the elderly people, and there are some chiefs from some place I don't want to mention, they have come here to this hotel because the hotel belongs to their son. So I was trying to imagine, like, I'm a foreigner and this historic moment, I come all the way from anywhere to experience this, and I check in, pay, and now at 1 a.m. I am checked out of this hotel because some old people say that if you are picking hotel. Now, whom do you sue or who do you beat up? Don't even after that one put it won't happen in Tamale. And this be some of the things where I would want those listening, if there are people in positions of power who are informing the upcoming event in Cape Coast. If it's a Ghanaian thing that we misbehave to this height, then I would want to beseech or reach out to the people of Quaye that the world is coming there because it's Independence Day. It's good that it's being taken around various regions. They should we should lift our game because this is all we have. Some of us do not really pride ourselves so much when it comes to these things, but again, people could fall victim to some of these nonsenses.
Okay, he calls it nonsense. It's interesting there. For me, Obi, I'm coming to you. I am looking at our creative space, and I cry every year how badly we lose out. Once upon a time, the British Council, in partnership with the British High Commission and other agencies, engaged Charterhouse. They wanted to celebrate 400 years of the abolition of the slave trade. There was a renaissance and other activities. And guess what they used? Creatives, theater arts. They held a show at the Elmina and Cape Coast castles in Cape Coast. The show at the Elmina Castle was opened by Obo and Professor Anyedoho. And you should have seen that poetry presentation. Amansiba and other people performed. It was like a 3-day or so event, and they used nothing but creatives. 60-something years, and we're still marching up and down, looking forward. Obi.
George, it's sad anyway, but then again, you ask, maybe they have a reason for the marching. Maybe.
Meaning reason?
How would I explain?
Like what is the reason?
I don't know. Because we've been doing this for years. And the thing is that how they don't sit with the creatives when it comes to these celebrations. Because do they?
I think they do. Your boss, Godwin Quaye.
The late Godwin Quaye.
The late Godwin. He used to work. I had the opportunity to be that close. So I think it's more of a budgetary thing. And again, the culture bits of how we do not appreciate that it's an opportunity to exhibit our cultures.
Do you know how long it's been since Godwin Quaye died?
That's how sorry the situation is, bro. That's how bad it is.
Interesting.
That's how bad it is.
So, like I'm saying, it ends up. That's the thing. Instead of probably looking at maybe a week-long or a month-long celebration, because that is one of the biggest commercial events we have in Ghana. Independence is huge. So what have we done as a people? It's become so, it's become so political that even to the extent that when there is independence, the party in power looks for the people who project their policies and then put them on the marching field. That is how low we have brought today.
I can tell you on authority.
How low we brought it.
Obi, I can tell you on authority that the Ghana Dance Ensemble, the National Theatre Company, have always worked with the state protocols to figure out and fashion out how best they could portray.
I think what he's talking about is the likes of the level that the NFL has taken the Super Bowl. Okay, the Super Bowl halftime has been given to a production company whose job it is to produce events. There's something that I've been so passionate about that I talk about all the time.
But they don't give it to them on a trail. It comes with a budget.
No, I'm coming.
Ghana government won't give anybody anything.
Rasta, I'm saying you don't need to give anybody anything. We sit in this. We sit.
Hold on. Let Kojola and then we'll bring Sadiq into the conversation.
We sit in Accra. Okay, we all live in Accra. We all live and work in Accra. Homowo comes every year and goes. If you ask me, I've been living in Accra since 2000. If you ask me to tell my kids what Homowo signifies, which website, which media platforms to go, it will become difficult, because the people that manage and organize Homowo every year still see it as what they've been seeing it from the beginning. They don't think that Homowo is an event where they need to give the whole production of Homowo to a company whose job it is to produce Homowo, and then now they play a part of the Homowo which they know how to do. So you go, Homowo will start from the beginning to the end. If you go online, the only news you will find is that a church broke the noise making. That is all that you're going to find about Homowo.
That's actually
even though it happens in the capital city.
Yes, but you see, my direct experience with Sadiq, with festivals and with my area, like Dojra and the homes, that people are hired to I don't know if it's to support, or I'm just saying that we might not be fair, but rather budgetary constraints.
But who look for the budget? If you find a marketing and production company, they will now be able to package the event. And now
they do find them. I think they do find them.
Okay, gentlemen, hold on. Okay, hold on. No, Sadiq, hold on. Before we go there, let me bring some clarity. Homowo is my space. I think I'm the only guy here. This man is not a proper. Okay, Obi, you are here. The guy, yes. So he's not. Philip is not a proper guy.
George,
he's not a proper
guy. In fact, also we are.
Sorry. So now the thing is this. The thing is this, right? I hear what Kojo is saying and I understand where he's coming from. But I also understand the people that organize Homowo.
So that's where the point
there is an element of ownership that for them to call an event organizer to come and organize, they may think, no, we are losing it. Yeah. When you are in a space where a lot of the things you own have already been lost by virtue of the fact that you find yourself in the capital city, by the virtue of the fact that, trust me, the reason you do not know about it and you cannot tell your kids is just because we all find ourselves in the capital city. If it were in Ho, you would feel Hogbechocho, because there wouldn't be a lot of other interruptions. Hold on.
There was a conscious decision by the current, what's it called, Tobu Afeji, in terms of how Hogbechocho was packaged to attract.
No,
to-
but I'm
for
coming.
people
I'm
to
coming.
get
I'm
there.
coming
So-
there. I'm coming there. But beyond then, you would agree with me that Accra is already saturated with a lot already. Homo, what happens? You do not feel it because Homo in itself, unlike other festivals,
Has
is
different
divided.
It's divided. It's not like
You
one
understand?
size.
But George,
It is not.
I'm saying the same thing for all festivals. And
No,
all, and
you let me learn.
especially- no,
You see, not all
especially-
festivals.
especially
When you
Sisma.
Google Akwesidae
Sisma.
right now, that is not what you find because Akwesidae in its own, by default, the people in
But
Quaye
that
don't
is
even
not
have a
even enough.
festival.
No,
For
but that
my
one- that
own-
one is
for
showcasing
my
the
own
festival.
for my
George,
own
stick
people
into-
from Kumasi,
Okay,
the
stick-
only people who go to Akwesidae in Kumasi are the Royals. I will never get up from Accra here and drive to Kumasi because there's an Akwesidae happening. Unless I have a role to play or I'm from the nucleus royal family.
So now you're talking packaging.
So
I
I'm
get
saying
you.
that for all events and including
Yeah.
the 6th of March.
Yeah.
Should be giving them.
No,
It's
George,
an event.
George,
It's a national event.
yes, let's
That
hear
has to be
Sadiq.
given a national- That has to be given a national
A national face.
feel.
Yeah.
What stops
Yeah.
the planning committee from getting in touch with production companies, event production companies, to package the event such that there can be something that if I live in Wale Wale, I can feel that there is an event happening. Why is it that in America, on the 4th of July, everybody stays in their backyard and has a this
barbecue
thing,
stand.
and they all drive to the nearest community where they are having fireworks?
Yeah.
Because it's of the inclusiveness.
Yeah.
Because it's been packaged. Because it's an event.
They were deliberate about this, like, yeah.
So-
And that's what I'm
so
talking
let me
about.
put it
There
this way.
needs to be that.
Let me hear Sadiq quickly
I
on
mean,
this one.
let's put it into proper perspective. Are we relating to the whole overarching PR of the festival and the campaign to drive to create that ownership, sense of ownership from Ghanaians, or the event itself? When it comes to the event itself, look, we need to understand something. It's a parade. The way parade works is there are principles, or what would you call what was the word they would say? I've forgotten the word, but parades are supposed to come in a certain structure or form, and often led by the military. It's a parade by the military.
Yeah.
So there's a certain form and style it comes in.
Yeah.
And often that particular style, George, if they give it to you,
You
will
won't
not
be able
execute
to
like
deliver
that.
it. I get
It will
you.
be doused.
Yeah.
So understandably, parades in the way it works may not be cannot, because it has to take the military. That's why if you realize at a certain point in time, even the people providing commentary for it were military people.
Yeah.
And in the military people, when they are giving commentary, there was a particular year we all commended a particular commentator
Yes.
because there were signages
Yes.
and certain things that he provided
That he
explanation,
understood.
because
Yeah.
all these things are consistent with parades.
Exactly.
However, if it's having to do with services about George in this town, we all know Global Media Alliance have been providing services for parades and things that has happening since this government came to power. Beyond that as well, previously there were people, private event companies that we know during NDC time, that
Yeah.
were providing services and stuff.
Yeah.
We all know them. When you go lately today, when you see the big trusses and everything, these are companies that are there. The fact that they probably will not say it obviously happens when your party comes power. You get it, you keep quiet. Everybody else will complain as if you are not being engaged. But they're being engaged. You know, to that extent, that's fine. But if we are having to argue about a massive PR campaign or a massive marketing campaign, generally using the media, using a number of other activities and everything to drive that sense of belongingness and that sense of connection, it's fine. But again, the texture or the what's it called of the country at a certain point in time would large extent determine how even such campaigns will be received.
So,
It
how,
could be
in your
around this time
opinion,
today.
should we package our Independence Day celebration?
Look, he cited the
Because for
United
us,
States
we've
one.
already entered Ghana month, and this
See,
is all part of our build-up.
Exactly.
So what?
He cited the US situation.
Mhm.
Obviously, there are a number of activities that were done either by different organizations doing it to take the lifestyle of the people and to activate a certain mindset about barbecues.
Yeah.
By all means, it started with a particular
Something,
activity that
yeah.
began to create the idea of, oh, we need to relax and there has to be barbecues during July 4th.
Mhm.
Again, there will be a number of things. One of the biggest marketing communications are always run by the United States Army.
Mhm.
Not going beyond, what's it called, the campaigns they do to recruit. They're always investing in the movies. They're always investing even in songs.
Yeah.
There's been periods where, depending on the Americans' diplomatic activities or whatever they are doing across the world, they invite Hollywood studios to sit down and take some stories and everything. And so they subtly found things where they could activate a certain love and a certain need. So in all movies, when you see American flag, there's a certain thing that you need to do. In all movies, when they're playing American national anthem, that's what you need to do. In all movies, when you see the American president, that's what you need to do. The American president is always positioned in a certain charismatic form and everything. They do all these things because they have a budget where the state does this. So one of the biggest campaigns that happens in America is done by the military. All these things are done. It's not like it's not an automatic thing that starts when you enter a match. We say, let's do these things. It's deliberate, it's consistent, and it happens over time so that people can draw that sense of belonging.
So how should we celebrate our independence?
Look, there's a parade.
That's the same thing you're saying there.
Yes, the parade is, George, unless you're saying the parade are not
Activate
important.
the mics on the back.
George, once the parade are important, it has to be done by the military.
So for you
Not
believe we should
everybody
continue marching?
No, I mean, it can be different. The marching.
So what should be done?
The parade, yes, should happen.
So
It's
you
very
believe the
important.
parade should happen? What else?
Yeah, the only thing, obviously, the entertainment part of it in terms of the shows, showcasing the fact that if it's your history month, if March becomes your history month, for instance, engaging media who have already started highlighting your history month, where there's those that are into music are highlighting musical history of the country, those that are into movies are highlighting movie history of the country, stories and all of those things, all deliberately done to instigate that sense of belonging. That should be the way. Obviously, you need that PR push as much as possible.
I have an idea. And for the children who are listening,
the children should
please,
be taken out.
We do
The
not.
military should only do the
Hold on.
practices.
Not the children who go and march. The children who are listening to this show now, please, we do not march on 6 March because it's in the month of March.
No.
Let me just clarify that. Charlie, make you don't laugh.
Until it's clarified, yes.
Honestly, I used to think because it's a match, we have to match. So everyone, so what if it was in April? What would we have done? Now, I've been thinking, and it's okay if any event planner steals the idea, fine. Let us imagine. Now we have 16 regions. And when you come to our music space, you'd get at least 2 musicians from each of the regions. Let us imagine that just for that day, at a certain particular time, there are simultaneous concerts all over in every regional capital. And whichever region you come from, that is where you perform. Which region would have had the finest concert?
The Eastern region.
Why?
Hold on. Because Eastern has Krobo, Quaye.
Hold on. Don't worry. Let me go around. Let me start with Trick. Trick, which region would have the best concert?
I think Eastern region. Yeah.
You think Eastern region?
Which artist?
Which artist?
No, Eastern region is big.
No, mention the artist.
Mention the artist. Mention the top 5.
Miko, I'm partly
Yeah,
from there.
You see, you are not a girl.
No, I'm half Ghana and half from.
So where would you have performed?
From which side? Your father or
My mother.
They are matrilineal too, so yes.
I think the voter region.
Who performed there?
Oh, at the Eastern region. Oh,
Let me support since we are all
Kwame
From
Eugene.
Eastern. Okay, go ahead.
Kwame Eugene,
Kidi.
Obo
Guru, Obrafo, Guru.
Obo is Ashanti region.
No.
He's from
Proper
the Eastern
cool.
Like
Draso, but Osansu free.
Why are you claiming the man by force?
Hold on. His father comes from Draso, but his mom is Quaye, and he's an Akan. So matrilineally. Oh, bruh, we are not talking of the Boba J, the Black Chinese, and George Dako. We are not coming from George Dako's them. Yeah, so even urban and with the gospel
line, yeah.
Yo, again, look at the ethnic groups in the Eastern region. The Krapims, the Asante Achims, the Chebis, the Odans, all the way to Krobo.
You are mentioning places, not names.
Yes. So Mr. Admin,
what artist?
You finish, George. You finish.
If I finish,
Greater Accra.
Mention the names.
Charles Liama,
AKA Shatawale.
Joe Metal.
Thank you.
I'm done. It's a great show for
Agbena. No, don't worry. We'll add Tiny.
No, but seriously, I think I'm changing. I think no, the water region. The water region. Yes.
Why?
No. Take the Eastern region.
One voice. Hold on.
Can you imagine a show in Kumasi? Can you imagine we have Daddy Lumba? We have Amati Dede, Kojenchi. We have Kojenchi. We have Obidi. We have the name Champo. We have Jack. We have Okonfo Kwade. We have the whole
from the Nabrongo.
Who? Yeah, Okonfo is an ordinary. Don't claim. True. He's an ordinary. He will join Fancy Gadam and Samini.
Samini is Upper West.
Yeah, and Samini. They all go up there.
Because Achimbo is
strong. But you see, honestly, I'm sure when you start mentioning, you're going to get a lot of people.
No, but you see, do you guys hold on? Do you realize the excitement right now?
George.
So imagine this.
George,
yeah.
Let me say something to you that before I come to my region, there was a particular parade where there was an enactment. That thing is still in my mind.
Yeah.
I think it was during JJ's time. I think it was 97, 96. There was an enactment by young kids on the 10 Unions of Ghana where they were building. It was a big board where everybody was coming pick one and representing
like a
with
puzzle.
the clothing and everything and fixing it like a puzzle. You remember that?
Yeah.
I think it was 96 or 97. Till now, I still remember that. Yeah. So even within the parade, consistent with what has been done, I mean, I held the view that parades should strictly be parades in the way that it should work with the military people and everything.
Sure, military
but if it has to be, if there's room or there's opportunity to douse it in the way it's doused, I'm sure I am getting back already now because of the proliferation of media and all of those things. Parade doesn't hold sway like
they should take out the Ejako match.
I said to my dad and everybody, all of us, everybody sitting by the TV watching the parade till it ends.
But you
will
see,
watch it now. When it's airing,
the thing is that we should not leave it. We should not leave it to the parade alone, because it seems like that's what has become the main event.
Yes.
After the parade, I've been to 6th March. Like last 2 years, I was in Kumasi for the 6th March. Okay, the evening of the 6th March, there was nothing happening in town.
There was a lot of cars and chilling.
There were just people who have come in to work and stuff like that, who just meet at a drinking spot here and just have some few drinks. But if you look at it, we should be able to have a whole plan where there are marketing campaigns, there are advertising campaigns going on about being a Ghanaian and how proud we feel like Ghanaians.
Sure.
The whole PR.
May they do and make my people can't say they spend more money.
The way that
may they do and make my people can't say they spend more money. They waste money when they need money for levy. But how many somebody who politicize it?
Well, this is all for us. I mean, it's a very interesting conversation, and I'm liking the excitement. And I mean, imagine if with all this music things going on in the week to the build-up, there are theater presentations. Not yet. We're hoping. We're hoping.
George, do you realize that almost everything we've said was part of the Ghana Music Week proposal, the infamous Musiga event?
Yeah.
The whole week earmarked for arts.
Anyway.
And then
Joy 99.7 FM.
So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're showing. What you're showing.
So much is fast approaching, and yet another Ghana month beckons, and your superstation Joy FM presents another groundbreaking edition of Showbiz A to Z live from the Ashanti region. Get ready as we take you into Ashtown. You're gonna come feel the rich culture and tradition of the people of Asanteman like never before. Explore the magnificent tourist destinations in the beautiful Garden City. Yes, it's Ghana month on Joy this March, and we're starting it all in partnership with Adansi Travels and Micklin Hotel from the Garden City. The show is gonna come to you live next Saturday from the Center for National Culture inside Kumasi, 5th of March 2022. The entire party crew is on its way to the Garden City. You've got to be there. And even before we get there, I can tell you for sure, Homo, what this year is going to be spectacular. Reigniting the soul, creating atmospheres, bringing worshippers from across the continent for a massive praise explosion. Celestial Praise 9 is back in bigger fashion than ever before. From Ghana, Obapa Christie, Kofi Osopepra, Bethel Revival Choir, and Quaye Ernest. Obi, your microphone is off. Bethel Revival Choir is going to be there. I love those ones too. Also, they got Minister Yada from Nigeria, Mkululi Bebe from South Africa, Joel Luanga from Tanzania, and Mercy Masika from Kenya. He also has multiple award-winning Celestine Donko. Atmosphere of Testimonies, that's the theme. So on the 7th of March 2022, 5 p.m. Dominion Sanctuary, Victory Bible Church inside Awishi. Dial star 447 star 1762 hash for tickets. Single 30 CDs, double 50 CDs. 130 CDs for a family of 5, 60 CDs VIP, supported by L-Time Properties, Loyalty Insurance, and ATL Fabrics. And MTN wants you to know that it's giving away loads and loads of gift to you for just doing what you do best on your favorite network. Now you too can live your best life and enjoy so much more with MTN Rewards. Just keep talking, texting, and browsing all day, every day to collect points and use those points to redeem amazing offers, discounted freebies right away. MTN Rewards is giving you discounts on some of your favorite restaurants and stores and allowing you to redeem them airtime and redeem that airtime today. All you gotta do is just dial star 550 hash and get your MTN reward today. MTN everywhere you go. The legendary Muba Papa Big Boss Billy comes up next with Flashback. Wrapping it up, gentlemen, final thoughts. Kojo?
So
we're about to go. Have you gone to pay GRA for the events you did in December?
That's where I'm coming to right now. I there's something that has been on my mind for the whole of last week that I've been thinking about. That okay, we sit here and we ask for government intervention, government support for our industry. Governments may not be able to dole out cash to event companies to say, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. I proudly say that my industry is the reason why a year of return was successful. I proudly say beyond the return was successful because of my industry. That nobody said they were coming necessarily to just tour Ghana. People came to Ghana because of events. People came to Ghana because they wanted to go for Afrochella, because they wanted to come for Afro Nation. Even though some companies receive some payments, some donations and support from the office of the year of return.
Oh, so some companies and organizations actually got money.
Yes, it was something insignificant. That's probably why it was not.
Yeah,
but
we have just about
for me,
3 minutes to go.
The bigger support is taxation.
Yeah.
Because one of the reasons why states who bid and lobby for Super Bowl win is the one who is able to support the NFL by way of taxes.
Yeah.
So when you are a city and you are bidding to host the Super Bowl, you need to come clean on how much you are able to give to the organization in terms of taxes that you are not going to ask them to pay, and then now they'll quantify the tax.
Kojo, you know what? Let me not cut you. Philip, I think what we need to do is we need to get a rep from the GRA because this conversation is important. Because, Charlie, it is not easy that you creating, and I know we've had this conversation.
A small event.
You create a small event.
What I'm saying is that if a new business from America or wherever, a foreign company comes into Ghana, we give them tax holidays because we want to
grow the business.
To grow the business. If somebody decides that they want to pick an artist like Sinaso, and have a concert for Sinaso, a small up-and-coming artist, in a small place, why does the person now have to necessarily cough out money that they are using to develop the talent and the show? And now that tax element becomes an expenditure list on the person's budget. Meanwhile, the industry does not get any support from the ministry. Why does that have to become an issue?
I think we need to have a broader discussion. Unfortunately, we're out of time, and this thing is deep. So I don't want us to just brush it.
Let me say something.
No, Sadiq, don't go into it. We don't have time.
Okay, just a line.
Well, okay.
I'm asking you a question. If you see the level of support the Tanzanian government, for instance, is giving us.
That's right. You see,
So
this
they
is
could
deep.
wa-
We are
waterline.
going because we need to go into where examples
Well,
are. So
anyway.
we need to get the GRA. Philip, let's make that happen. Because
do the
look,
same
there are a
thing.
lot of
GRA
people in this
their hands
industry
aside,
who are crying. But let us, gentlemen, we are going to Kumasi. Trey, what do you make of it? I mean, this is how we're also celebrating Ghana Man. Last year we were in Cape Coast.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it's a beautiful thing you guys are doing. Decentralizing celebration is key because we need to give each and every Ghanaian a high sense of high sense of belonging or patriotism actually.
Yeah.
And so it's good that it's happening in Kumasi, so they don't feel left out. They could be fun or part of the fun. It's something I'd love to do, and I think we need to also encourage a lot of tourism across Ghana, so that it's not just and
Domestic tourism.
Yes, domestic tourism must really be promoted, and that includes like what Kwame Rasta said about it. Everybody must be in it. The GPRTU must be spoken with to highlight the importance of tourism and their contribution. Event organizers, bar owners, they all form part of it. We think that it's just for a small people, but all of us form part of it. And so it's a good thing. Maybe I would try and come over there. I haven't been to Kumasi in a whole year. It's bad. You know, so I'll try and be there.
Join that dance. Join that. Obi, what do you make of it?
So, about you're going to
Yes,
Kumasi
they're going to
or-
Kumasi. No, they're
This is
going.
a
The other
final.
conversation there, we have to leave it for now. Yes.
Oh,
So
okay,
you can.
so
yeah.
I was just coming to say that artists should put some value on themselves.
It's important.
And their craft, so that
Yeah.
when event organizers and corporate people want to get to them, they know they're going to get value.
Yeah.
So let's just get that. We do that more. On the other side, I think Celestine Donko's program is coming up.
Yeah.
On the 7th of March tomorrow, Francis Amo and a couple of them are having their programs.
Yeah.
I want everybody to go and support the gospel industry. Jana is also there. Most of you don't, Kwame Rasta, I don't think he's been to any gospel event. He won't,
Okay.
but I just want
all
him
right.
to
All right.
try and then visit one of them. Kwame, I'll be grateful if you
Kojo, we are going to Kumasi, your hometown.
Kumasi there.
Well,
Kumasi
yeah.
there,
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a brilliant idea. I
Yeah.
think that I mean we should be having the whole month dedicated to promoting domestic tourism.
Yeah.
We should be having events at the Wuli waterfalls. There should
Yeah.
be events at the Cape Coast castles. There should be events all over for people who travel outside Ghana. You know, to take their children out of Ghana,
True.
to be able to feel the need to take their children there. You know, why can't there be a concert at the island that you go on when you go on the Bota Lake? There's this
Dodi.
Why can't there be a concert there that, you know, everybody gets onto the ferry and you get there and there's a stage that Trig is on with one mic and lights all over and all like I mean, why can't there be like
You have a point. You have a point. Right, Sadiq, we are going to Kumasi.
Are you a fight or something?
I'm coming to you. Relax.
I think it's a brilliant one.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that, I do my hat off to multimedia for shining the spotlight on all the various regions. The only downside of it is that once more time, Philip is going alone and leaving us in Accra to pay Accra Low.
Oh, but he hasn't told you
He's
you're
going
not
to
going.
pay
Take your
Kumasi
time. He hasn't told you you're
I'm
not
putting
going.
pressure on him now, so
he
he
hasn't
takes
told you. You don't worry. You are
Because
sorted.
this
You are
low,
sorted.
we all are paying the low.
Adansi is taking it. Rasta.
pay low in Accra
Rasta,
low.
it's okay. Thank you very much. Rasta. Yeah, let's hear you. We are going to Kumasi.
Yes, I mean,
Rasta, be careful, Kumasi, oh.
Yeah.
Remember Kwame?
Rasta, we have just 1 minute.
No, I
6
said, remember
o'clock. The
Kwame,
news
what
team is
happened
coming.
to you in Kumasi?
oh, Charlie.
Rasta, quickly. We have just 30 seconds.
Cool down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I mean, my father comes from Kumasi. Oh, Charlie. Oh, Charlie.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been a great show produced by my man Philip.